The sun was a merciless bastard that day in Shadow Gulch, Texas. Back in the summer of '87, it scorched everything in sight, turning the red dirt into swirling devils that choked the air at the livestock market. I'd ridden in early, my boots kicking up dust as I scanned the pens for a horse to replace old Battle, who'd given out last winter like a worn-out promise. But before I could even haggle over a sturdy bay, all hell broke loose. A drunken brawl erupted near the whiskey stall to Roughnecks. Jake Harlan and his sidekick Billy Snake Dawson throwing punches over a cheated card game. Fists flew, bottles shattered, and then the guns came out. A shot cracked the air, splintering a post inches from my head. Damn fools. I growled, my hand whipping to my sick. I wasn't one to back down. The Indian Wars had carved that out of me, leaving scars deeper than the ones on my hide. I fired once, grazing Snake's arm to drop him, while Jake swung wild. The crowd scattered like spooked cattle, but Rufus Black, that mean son of a gun from the neighboring spread, laughed from the sidelines, his eyes cold
50!
as a rattler's. Kane, you always gotta play hero. He sneered, but I ignored him, holstering my piece as the sheriff hauled the idiots away. My heart was still pounding when I heard the murmur from the far end of the market. Not the usual haggling over steers, this was darker, uglier. I pushed through the throng, my broad shoulders clearing a path, and there she was. Harlan Slade, the slimy trader known for rustled horses and bootleg rock gut, had a girl roped like a stray calf. She couldn't have been more than 19, her dark hair tangled in the wind, her dress torn and dirt-streaked. Bruises marked her cheek, but those brown eyes, Lord, they burned with a fire that hit me square in the chest. Not fear, not surrender, defiance, pure and raw. Don't let her pretty face fool ya, Slade barked, his voice like gravel. Eliza Thorne hears deaf as a post and mute to boot. Her pa dumped her on me after her ma passed. Said she was dead weight, nothing but trouble. But she can scrub, cook, 10 stock, $50, same as a solid mule. Who wants peace and quiet on their ranch? The words twisted in my gut like barbed wire. I'd seen enough cruelty in the warsmen broken, lives traded like poker chips. Rufus Black stepped closer, licking his lips. I'll take her for 40, he leered, his reputation for whipping his hands bloody hanging in the air like smoke. The crowd muttered, some shifting uneasily, others eyeing her like merchandise. Something snapped in me. That look in her eyes, it stirred memories of my own losses. The wife I'd buried young. The loneliness that had hardened my heart like old leather. Before I could think, I shouted, 50. She's mine. The words hung there, shocking even me. I pulled the roll from my vestal I'd saved for that horse, slapped it into Slade's greasy palm. The murmurs turned to whispers. Slade grinned yellow.
50!
Wyatt Kane didn't peg you for the soft type. No refunds, here. Rufus clapped my shoulder hard, mocking. Hope she don't bite, hero. I drew my knife, cutting her ropes clean. She flinched, bracing for hurt, but I sheathed it quick. Her eyes met mine searching, wary. Can you walk? I asked, forgetting she couldn't hear. But she read my lips, nodded, and followed me to the wagon. Her steps light, despite the cuts on her bare feet. Slade's laugh echoed behind us, but I didn't look back. What had I done? Brought home a stranger, a mystery, when all I wanted was a horse. We rattled out of Shadow Gulch, the wagon creaking under supplies. She sat in the back, knees drawn up, watching the horizon like it held secrets. I glanced back, unsettled by her silence, her beauty emerging under the grime. Fine features, full lipstick. She stirred something I'd long buried. Loneliness, desire. I shook it off, focusing on the trail. Then trouble hit like a thunderclap. Bandits 4 of M burst from the scrub, guns blazing skyward. Hand over the cash, rancher. The leader snarled, his face scarred ugly. My blood boiled. I'd faced worse in the wars. I yanked the reins, leaping down as a bullet whizzed past my shoulder, tearing my shirt. Back off, you varmints. I roared, drawing and firing. One dropped, clutching his gut. Another screamed as my shot hit his leg. Blood sprayed the dust, the metallic temps mixing with gunpowder. The leader charged. I sidestepped, cracking him with the butt of my gun. But a third grazed my arm, fire searing my flesh in the chaos. Sheelisa grabbed a loose board from the wagon, swinging it hard into one's knee. He crumpled, and she pulled me back, her eyes fierce. We scrambled aboard, whipping the horses into a gallop. My heart raced not just from the fight, but from her. Brave, quick. Who was this girl? Dust settled as we escaped, but the sky darkened. A sandstorm brewed, wind howling like a banshee. She tugged my sleeve, pointing southwest with urgent signs, fingers walking, then diving. I trusted her gut, veered the team. Sure enough, a hidden gulch appeared, sheltering us as the storm raged. I secured the horses, then draped my coat over her against the biting sand. Up close, her eyes flecked with gold, her breath warm. A spark jumped in my chest tenderness I hadn't felt in years. By firelight that night, I pointed to myself. "Wyatt," I said slow. She mirrored, mouthing Eliza, then touched the ground, eyes closing, sensing the horses' unease before they stirred. "You feel it," I whispered, awestruck. She nodded, a faint smile breaking through. In that moment, amid the wild Texas night, I wondered if fate had steered me not to a horse, but to salvation. But shadows lingered her past, my wounds. What storms lay ahead?